This audio recording is an excerpt from 36 Portals to Aliveness, a 2026 journey through the Decans, a correspondence production by Shea and the Catskills, Cory Nakasue, and Elena Solano, 2026. Song selections and playlists were compiled by Quinn Doyle, Aaron Rodriguez, and Robin Palmer. The Decans of Gemini 1 through 3. The decan of Gemini 1 takes place between May 21st and May 31st. This decan corresponds astrologically with Jupiter in Gemini. The tarot correspondence for this decan is the Eight of Swords. Key phrases associated with the Eight of Swords are abuse and trafficking, learning how to call for help, kink and bondage, the power of the mind to create heaven and hell. From the Gemini 1 Cosmic Jukebox, Metal Heart by Cat Power, Tough on Myself by King Princess, Take Away the Ache by Half Waif, Expanding Curiosity. Gemini 1 has an insatiable drive to understand the quote, not me, or quote, the other, whether this is another person, a differing opinion, or the other side of the fence. Once it learns something about the opposite, the contrary, or the negation of its stance, it returns to the original position to compare notes. Gemini divides so that it can synthesize and ultimately accommodate multiple perspectives on any situation. And in order to do this, there must be a constant motion, usually a type of weaving or swinging to and fro. Curiosity is an essential tool for grounded exploration and learning. Curiosity is not simply the desire to know or observe something new. It is a mindset of wonder and non-judgment. Curiosity requires genuine interest and willingness to hold aside previously formed judgments in order to understand something freshly. In this way, curiosity is both a way to learn about something new and also an opportunity to feel into what preformed judgments or conclusions we aren't willing to part with or separate from. Curiosity doesn't diminish or obliterate what is. Rather, it expands, thickens, and deepens our ability to relate with our living world and ourselves. Curiosity says yes and plus. How, when, and with whom are you able to get curious? Noticing polarities with curiosity. Think about what relationship dynamics, topics, objects, or ideas make you feel alive with interest. Make a list of your favored go-to curiosities. Then think about the things that make you feel distinctly uncurious. Where are your judgments and preconceived notions rigid and immovable? Make a list of these things as well. Try to honor them as personal limits to curiosity. Begin a practice of curiosity when and where you feel open, not closed. Find out how an everyday object works. Learn the names of all the parts. Learn how and where it was made and what elements contribute to its form. Learn how it functions. Find the joy in alternation. Wash your salty French fries down with a sweet milkshake. Go back and forth between the sauna and the swimming pool. Alternate standing in the bright sunlight and sitting in the shade. Notice your experience of contrast. In Gemini 1, we are interrogating trust. A few prompts to consider during this time. For me, choosing means or feels like something that can make it hard to choose. Who I'm making choices with right now. The decan of Gemini 2 takes place between June 1st and June 10th. This decan corresponds astrologically with Mars and Gemini. The tarot correspondence for this decan is the Nine of Swords. Key phrases associated with the Nine of Swords are revelation, CPTSD and shame spirals, the airtight logics of anxiety, gaining skill and working with our mind. From the Gemini 2 Cosmic Jukebox, Ruminating by Lily Allen, All the Things She Said by Tattoo, Mistress by Red House Painters, Exploring Multiplicity. In the first decan of Gemini, we investigated contrast and, quote, the other, and the discrete parts that make up the whole. In the second decan, we practiced simultaneity. Instead of moving to and fro, we begin to explore in a circular fashion, turning around in a 360-degree rotation to survey the landscape of our environment. Gemini 2 is where light and dark cohabitate. Without the illusion of separation, we begin to learn the art of coordination, synthesis, and agility. Gemini 2 uplifts the musician who plays the harmonica and guitar while working a sound loop pedal with their foot, all at the same time. Our intersex and non-binary friends who embody a unique synthesis of the feminine and masculine express Gemini 2 every day. Even though the sign of Gemini in general gets pegged as inconstant or prone to duplicity, in some ways it's one of the more honest signs. This decan will never ignore the fact that every circumstance we experience is tethered to its opposite and a host of other aspects and factors. It revels in active complexity. Practicing multiplicity. How many things can you imagine, arrange, work with, hold, think about at the same time, while allowing them to inform or even enhance each other? Notice what feels like, quote, too much or, quote, not enough for you. Pick 2 items in your closet, 2 ingredients in your kitchen cabinet, or 2 friends who have nothing in common, and think about how to get them to work together. Do the mental gymnastics to make it make sense. Art project. In your next poem, drawing, or choreographic piece, explore what, quote, feminine and, quote, masculine look, sound, or feel like to you. What happens when those expressions and symbols commingle? In Gemini 2, we are interrogating choice. A few prompts to consider during this time. For me, visioning means or feels like fears that can cloud my vision. I love sharing my visions with. The decan of Gemini 3 takes place between June 11th and June 20th. This decan corresponds astrologically with the Sun in Gemini. The tarot correspondence for this decan is the Ten of Swords. Key phrases associated with the Ten of Swords are painful disillusionment, the asymmetrical violence of the state, holding each other in undoing times, letting what's done be done. From the Gemini 3 Cosmic Jukebox, Apology for an Accident by American Music Club, Beaten Down by Swale, Unforgivable by Christian Lee Hudson, Let Go, Let Flow. Gemini 3 represents the time of year when the sun, representing consciousness in the northern hemisphere, begins to lose its power. It's a time when the earth requests the material form of the visions, concepts, and inspirations we've been dreaming into being. Here we are offered an opportunity to sacrifice possibility so that a defined position can exist in the material world. Gemini 3 invites us to put aside what we deem excess when it's time to complete a composition. In this decan, we release the inessential in service of what we are creating. In the first and second decans of Gemini, we've familiarized ourselves with the practices of curiosity and multiplicity. In our explorations, we discover the choices that are available to us, our personal preferences and limitations. We've collected artifacts of our interests and round a bend toward a proverbial finish line. Think about questions like, which one of these things does not belong? What are the essential components of what I'm creating? The idiom, Quote, measure twice and cut once might come in handy. Assess every scrap that you've collected in the first 2 decans to decide where to lay the blade. When is the sentence really done? How do you know when you've said all that you need to say or expressed all that you need to express? What meaning have you made in the process of exploration? What feels important or essential to carry forward? What might weigh down or muddy the meaning, form, or function of what you've created? How do you say goodbye to excess when you're finished? What does it feel like to be done with something? The essential exercise of this decan is to decide what is compost so that something can truly live. Grieve what is lost and rejoice in finishing. In Gemini 3, we are interrogating vision. A few prompts to consider during this time. For me, connection means or feels like signals that I'm feeling isolated. I love connecting with. Journal prompts for each decan. Quality of earth, quality of air, quality of fire, quality of water, quality of time, quality of light, external weather, internal weather, flora and fauna, sounds, colors and shapes, feelings, personal symbols and images. Gemini season, spring into summer. Process notes. I tended to pay attention to. I paid less attention to. I enjoyed most about this process. I didn't do or didn't want to do in this process. I'd like to do differently next time. I'd like to try or experiment with next time. Personal taxonomy. Colors, sounds, smells, images, flora and fauna and feelings felt of this season are. What felt potent during this time? What challenged me during this time? Something that I noticed change during this time. This has been a recorded edition of 36 Portals to Aliveness, a 2026 Journey Through the Decans, a correspondence production by Shea and the Catskills, Cory Nakasue, and Elena Solano. Visit the links in the description to learn more about this project, to order or download your copy of 36 Portals, and to get to know the creators. Feel free to subscribe to this channel to receive notifications when new chapters are available.